Cool. Welcome, everyone. We are here at this chat with Elvis Guarda, who is our one of the newest and most recent success cases here at Giga. So, Elvis, can you give us an overview, an overview of what happened in your life in the last few months?
Yes, for sure. First of all, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to be being here, talking with you, sharing my knowledge about the process to get a job, an international job. All right. So first of all, um, I will start to talk about the beginning of everything. All right. So a recruiter reached out to me about an open position that she believed it was a great match for my expertise and background. However, it took some time to start the process because the team was busy and unable to schedule the initial interview right away. Uh, One thing that I've noticed about international recruitment processes, uh, especially with large companies, is that they tend to take a considerable amount of time to complete. Um, for instance, in this case, the recruiter first contacted me in September, but the technical interview didn't happen until October,
Mm-hmm.
about a month later. So the first step of the process was a live coding interview. The interviewer presented me with a problem. I don't recall its name at the moment, uh, which wasn't particularly difficult. However, there were moments where I got stuck, and the interviewer provided guidance for me. What really helped me during this stage was thinking out loud and explaining my thought process as I worked through the problem. Right. Um, this approach allowed the interviewer to understand my reasoning and made it easier for me to stay focused.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so far so good up until now, or anyone has a question for me? All right, let's move
Very
on.
good.
The second step, which occurred about a week later, was a system design interview. The interviewer described the process of purchasing a product on a marketplace, such as Amazon, Mercado Libre, and so on, and asked me to design the system. I needed to explain the process required to sell the product, distinguishing between synchronous and asynchronous tasks. Uh, Additionally, I was asked to describe how to scale the system to handle millions of users. I successfully addressed these by discussing topics such as load balancers, database optimizations, and scalability, and other scalability strategies. So that was the whole process. It took 1 month, uh, it, and that's all. But beyond
All
of
right. So
that,
can we go over the steps again? So the first one was live coding.
yes, it was a live coding, and the
Second
second
one,
step was the system design interview. But
system
before
design.
these two steps, there was the first step, really. That was with the recruiter talking about my experience and answering some HR questions.
Okay, so that's the third step, HR questions.
That was the first step.
Oh, the first one. All right. So
Yes.
HR, live coding, and system design. And then after those three steps, how long did it take for them to confirm that you were in?
Man, it was pretty fast. Like, I finished the interview, and after 15 minutes, the recruiter contacted me to
Wow.
talk that I was approved. So it
Cool.
was pretty good because I received the feedback right away. and I
Nice.
didn't to expect the recruiter contacted me to talk about that. I don't know, 1 week later.
Right. 15 minutes later. Nice. How did you
Yes,
feel?
it was a good sensation, because I started to put effort to achieve this goal uh, in the beginning of the year. Since January, I am been working my way up to achieve this goal, studying English every single day, talking English, listen, writing in English to improve this skill that is really necessary to work abroad. But I would say to you that you don't need to be a C1 level to achieve uh, international job because uh, at the moment I don't have this level. Right? At the moment, I am in a B2 level of English, and I will be able to. I am able to work as a international developer right now. So one thing that I would say to you that was really important to be where I am today, it is the consistent and always believe in yourself. Like uh, will be moments, there will be moments where you will start to ask yourself if you will achieve the goal, right? Because this is the common human behavior, but you need to be aware that this will happen. If you are putting effort to achieve this goal, you will achieve. This is certain, 100% certain.
Wow, this is good to know. And this is good motivation because like many people could tend to wait until they have this perfect, super proficient English to start applying for jobs abroad, but it's not necessary because you have a set of skills that a company wants, and it's as soon as you can establish communication, you can be part of a team, you can already be in, right?
For sure, for sure. So you only need to prepare yourself to the technical interview. So if you are
Mhm.
able to listen videos in English, where people are talking in English and you don't have problem to understand them, I would say to you that you are um, ready to start to put effort in this goal. And after that, you will need to uh, take a lot of time to preparing yourself for the technical interview. So
Mhm.
searching about common questions that might will be asked when you will be in this position. Um, and another thing is system design interview. If you are a back-end engineer, you will need to study about system design because this uh, in the most part of the um, positions, you will see this requirement to 5 years of experience back-end engineer.
Cool. So do you believe that we have helped you prepare for that?
For sure, for sure. Giga was a really, how can I say that?
Game
Um, game change, game change
game
in
changer, yeah.
this approval because here we have um, to Monday to Friday all the day, talkings, conversations about things that might be asked in an interview. Like, for example, live coding. We have on Monday live codings to practice not only the logic to solve the problem, but the practice that you need to um, do in order to achieve your job. Like, for example, talking while you are solving the problem, because the interviewer needs to know what you are thinking about and how you will solve the problem. And this is the most important thing. You need to express yourself, right? Uh, and beyond that, when you are in an environment where you can talk in English, express yourself with confidence, this will improve the belief that you have in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So this is really important. And here in Giga, we have this opportunity Monday to Friday to practice our English, not only talking about a lot of things, but talking and solving problems that we will need to use in the interview step.
I got a
Nice.
question for you, mate. Uh, did you feel like the recruiter that was doing the interview really was worried about your college and stuff related to college for you, or he was like completely into only getting to know if you actually can do the job?
Not at all, man. He focused on in my abilities, my skills. He didn't ask me if I have a college or something like that. So this isn't important to achieve a job as a software engineer. If you know how to work as a software engineer, this is a must to them.
Yeah. So like your titles and what you studied and diplomas and certificates really didn't count so much, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's a good question, Marcus.
Another question that I have for you as well is, now you're in a remote job earning US dollars. So how does that affect your life? Like, because you actually achieve the the freedom of being remote, and at the same time you get the nice part, which is the dollar. So what do you think is gonna change now?
I would say the same thing that I said to the Giga. It is a game changer, because this isn't the finish, the end, all right? It's
Mhm.
the beginning. So I know that I have the opportunity to work my way up to study some contents that will lead me to tech lead position or staff engineer that will rise my salary up. And for now, it's a good um, place to me being here, because I have some goals to the next year that will be conquered only because of that, because I already achieved my first position, my first international position.
Another question that I also have for you, Elvis, is did you feel like they cared as much about your fluency or like sounding like an American native, or they only cared if you actually could communicate?
Not at all. They only care if I can communicate myself. And I didn't do only one interview. I did so much interviews, and none of them care about that, you know?
Cool.
Awesome.
Is the money in your account yet? Did you get paid?
No,
Not
no,
yet.
not yet,
Ah.
not yet.
That's the main
It will
question.
come. It will
Asking the
come to
right
pass.
questions, right?
That's a nice Christmas gift, by the way.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a
for
good
sure.
Christmas gift. How
Yes,
are you gonna
man.
get it? Like, what's your plan to how are you gonna get paid? Like, logistically speaking.
I talked with Marcos about that. He um, gave me the Wise Up platform.
Mhm.
He recommended me to use Wise Up platform, but I searched about High Globe as well, and I think that it is the one of the best platforms that I can use to get the money and start to use here in Brazil.
Cool. There's also the strategy of creating an LLC, right, Marcus?
Yes, that's the one that I use. but that's a fancy technique. As long as you get paid at the moment, then you
Yeah,
can change that later once we get to.
focus on getting
And
paid, but then
yeah,
like you can create a company in the US, and then you can get they can pay pay your company, and then your US company can pay your Brazilian company, and then you pay less taxes basically.
another funny
Yes.
part that I noticed as well about Elvis is he got interviewed and he asked for a salary. I don't even know how much was X, and that was before the dollar went up. So he automatically got a raise in a couple of days.
Yes.
Cool.
I'm
How did
happy
this
with
part
that.
go, Elvis?
Every
Did you
day
negotiate?
I every day I woke up looking to the dollar, you know. Oh my
Oh, good
gosh.
idea.
Now you're wishing for it to go up. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, cool. And how did this go? Did you have to negotiate your salary? Or like it was fixed and that was it?
The recruiter gave me a range where I provided to her my range as well, and it was a good match because the range that she gave me was within my range.
Cool. It's good to know. I mean, if you want to get into the details of money, it's I wouldn't object. If you don't, it's okay too. Um, I want to have I have a question about Java specifically. I know that Dinar is a Java developer. Is anyone else here a Java developer? Actually, I would like Dinar to ask you a question, like ha getting a bit more specific in the Java universe. How did it go? What kinds of stuff they asked, because this could inform other Java developers that are looking to work abroad on what they can study, what they can focus on.
All
Could you
right.
help us with that, Dinar?
Sure. Actually, I've been seeing since Java is a very wide and well-established platform, you can go work abroad in different branches of what you could do with something, you know?
Mhm.
For example, Java Core is one approach. You can work on some companies just using Java Core, no frameworks, no nothing, just Java Core. On some others, it's common for you to find a combination of frameworks like Spring Boot with AWS with I don't know something. On others, they go deep down specifically on some branches of software programming like multi-threading or concurrency or let's say something like that. What was your experience on that specific select on that specific interview? What did you saw and what could you tell us about this?
All right. So the interviewer asked me some questions related to Java and framework as well. So he started asking me about Spring Boot. So he asked me about the dependency injection. Um, Another thing that I can recall that he asked me was about proxy in Spring, how it works, and um, asked me to give to him an example of usage. Uh, he asked me as well about Kafka and event-driven message architecture. So I explained it to him about the process within Kafka, how does Kafka handle fault tolerance that is through topic partition, and you have a broker leader and followers. So this is a
How you
good
handle
topic to,
asynchronousness?
yes, this is a good topic that you need to know. And he asked me about a thing related to Kafka as well. That was when we are talking about marketplace, when you are purchasing a good product, you need to do some process under the hood, like the payment, verify if you are who you are telling that you are, and some process behind the scenes don't need to execute synchronous. So you will need to implement some kind of asynchronous communication to communicate with your customer right away and tell to them that the system is processing the payment. He asked me about Hibernate as well. And another thing was related to Java memory management. So that was the topics that we discussed.
So if you consider not just that opportunity, but others that you've been interviewed to, would you say that I'm gonna make a statement and want to see if you've been experienced it like I have? Do you feel that there are some common tools and frameworks that the interviewers have been asked about? Let's say, for example, I've been seeing a lot of positions and interviews that goes through Java, Spring Boot, AWS, Kafka, if you're talking about synchronousness. Do you feel like that's something that's has happening in your interviews? And if so, would you be able to tell which are the ones that are mostly asked, or saying this in another manner, the positions are commonly for this in the Java world, this tool, and this tool together?
For sure, for sure. I would highlight Java core, questions related to string, JVM as well. How when you create a string using string template, will it be created two or one reference in the memory? This is a question that I saw that is being asked so many times. JVM as Java memory management as well. Map, hash map. This is a question really common.
But this is about Java core as a whole. Which are the most asked tools and frameworks?
All right. Spring, Hibernate, HWS, Kafka. I would say to you that there are these.
Those are the most common.
Yes, those are the most common. Those are the most common. Another thing that they asked is about HTTP. So you need to explain how HTTP works and what is the difference between HTTPS and HTTP, TCP/IP versus UDP. So when you are going to these interviews to a senior position, they will ask you about this kind of things.
Great.
Right. We also have Andre here, who's also a Java developer. So Andre, if you could ask him a question or get the details of this, that'd be nice.
Hi guys, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi, man.
Congratulations, Elvis. I'm really proud of you, my friend. I hope you
Thank
can
you.
very soon.
You
Yes,
will.
questions. They are. I've been noticing that a technology that they are asking a lot is AWS, and that's why I'm struggling to get a position. So I'm focusing in positions that are not asking for AWS. So what they have been asked for you in AWS? So it was essential for the position that you got.
To be honest, I didn't participate in an interview where they asked me about HWS. The HWS is on the requirements, but they don't ask me. Like they ask me if I know HWS, asked to me describe what are the features that I have been using in HWS, and just that. All the interviews that I did up until now, it was like that. They focused in um, other topics like Java Core, Spring, Kafka, event-driven message architecture, and this kind of things.
Interesting. There's an opportunity there then. I think, Marcus, we could launch like a product for AWS. Just AWS practice. Maybe it's
That would be
time.
cool. Actually, that's something that I'm very experienced with. It's the one that I use all the time.
That is cool. Nice. That's a good idea.
And I would give advice to you, Andre. Um, don't lose the opportunity to apply yourself to these opportunities. Just go, man. Just go.
Yes, I've been doing that, but you know, when you are looking for positions, there are 400 positions opened, and many of them are asking for AWS. So I've been trying to focus in that positions that are not asking just because of the time, you know. I don't have time
I
to
see.
apply for all of the positions, so I've been focusing on that.
I see.
Uh, so just to contribute more for this topic, the last interviews I did, they asked a lot for concurrency. So if you are a Java developer, it's been highly recommended to study that. No, all and also the isolation levels in databases. You know, you have to know that. I studied that a lot, and I guess I didn't manage to pass in my last interview because of that specific point. I studied that. I studied the isolation levels during the 1 week before the interview, and I reviewed that content. But even in that way, I made a mistake answering one of the questions about the isolation levels, and that was a really mistake of from my part. So that's essential. Synchronize
Yes,
it, synchronize it, read logs, read committed, read uncommitted, repeatable read, isolation, serializable. So if you are a Java developer, it's essential to know that concepts.
it's funny because I did an interview, if I'm not mistaken, on Tuesday, and they asked me about the isolation levels.
So you keep on doing interviews?
Yes, for sure.
You're not satisfied?
And you should. You should.
Not at
Oh,
all, man.
really?
And mainly because we need to get used to the interviews. So
Mm,
we can't stop to doing it
yep.
because once you stop to do, when you get back to do it, it will be hard. So you need to stay updated in the market and get used to the interviews because it will be easier along the journey.
Mhm. Makes sense. I think Gustavo Soares is here. I think he mentioned once that he did over 90 interviews, right, Gus? Can you tell us
Yeah,
more about that?
exactly. Exactly. I did a lot of interviews, and honestly, with this recent month, it's really painful to get back on them, because, for
Mm,
example, I was participating in two interviews just to measure my knowledge and see where I am on the market, just to make sure that I'm following the good standards and see if I'm a good candidate for a position. I tried.
wow.
Honestly, I just came by that I need to update myself, because, for example, as Andrea was already mentioned, one of the pinpoints that I got approved in one of my interviews were related to data structures, because Other than concurrency, I think data structure is always a good recap, and I must recap for me because, for example, I'm not sure if in your interviews you faced some cases like what is the best data structure to handle this issue or something related. But on the recent interviews that I took, they asked a lot about that, like what is the best approach to avoid some unnecessary complexity and something related, and honestly, I really need to recap, because I didn't honestly, I don't have a plans to move from Mark Dutch so far, but just to measure myself and see if I'm a good if I'm good to be a possible candidate in some positions. But
Mhm.
for the recent three interviews that I did, I just got reproved in one. The others I just came through, and thanks God that I got approved, but I didn't accept the offer.
Yes, man,
Mhm.
it's really important being doing that. I follow a guy that is I s- mm, a person that stand out uh, in the Java environment, and Bruno Souza, and he talk about that. Like
I heard about
you,
it. I heard about him.
you need to be doing interviews every day. Like
Like,
you can't stop doing it because if you stop to do, you won't know what the market wants, and you will be in a bad situation because if you got laid off or being fired, what are you gonna do? You know?
exactly. And if you see other than that, you're going to gain more confidence what you are trying to convey for the recruiters, and also you would be able to discuss what will be what will be your salary range, and try to maybe discuss better conditions for your new position. Because
Ye-
uh, when I started, I just accepted everything that they brought for me, like you're going to
That's
get
true.
a smaller budget, a smaller salary, and just go ahead. And for me, it was awesome because I when I tried, my English was not so good enough. So I just took a step back and tried to improve my English before going ahead.
That's true. That's true.
And
My,
Elvis, congratulations, buddy. Kudos to you.
Thank you, man.
I followed you during your journey. You gain a lot of confidence, and you tried a lot. I think we discussed it we discussed it offline, some possibilities, and also I'm really proud of you, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Congrats.
Thank you. You made part of this long journey and this achievement.
By the way, Elvis, I officially pronounce you a Titan from now on. All right. So you are part of the select group within our community. You can have access to multiple times throughout the day, because we can also count on your guidance to help the other members reach this goal as well, right?
All right. That's a good.
Uh, cool. Marcelo has a question here.
Yes, I've
Elvis,
saw.
could you
I've
share
seen.
more details about your proposal? How much is what they offered you, or range, just to know how was the negotiation, so we can get more details
Yes, for
about that.
sure. Uh, I gave to the interviewer, to the recruiter, a range between $25 to $30 per hour, and in the end, we the negotiation was $28 per hour. So it's pretty close
Mhm.
to four 4,500 per month.
Cool. Sounds nice. Does that vary, like depending on how much you work per month? Or is it like fixed?
It's fixed. It's a full-time position. So
Hmm.
it's around 160, something like that, times per month, hours per month.
Nice. Anderson is
So
saying, where are you getting positions to get interviews? Where do you even find these things? Do they exist? Anderson is kind of lost.
Yeah, because I'm trying a lot in the LinkedIn and in another
Job
platforms
positions,
as
what are
well.
those?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you explain more about that, Anderson? We can go back to your question to Marcelo if you want to ask more questions. But are you having trouble finding opportunities, Anderson?
Yeah, specifically on LinkedIn. All right, I'm trying a lot to and applying a lot of job positions. Uh, in the beginning is on the Netherlands or basically abroad, right? Worldwide. But man, it's a little bit hard to get uh, replies of the hires, and yeah, basically I'm not getting these replies.
I see. In that case, I didn't search. The interviewer reached out to me. So the recruiter reached out to me. So I didn't do nothing. But in the most case, I search on LinkedIn. So I put on the search some specific keywords like Java plus Latam plus developer. So when I search this kind of keywords on the LinkedIn, the results that I get is related to Java positions because um, link to publish a position on LinkedIn is expensive. So the recruiters are doing that. They are posting on LinkedIn on the posts.
Oh, cool. Right. Not as
Yeah.
a job position. All right, just like a post.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like a
Yeah.
I have another
publication.
question,
Yeah, go
if I
ahead.
may. Elvis, I want to know how many jobs positions you apply before you got before you got this interview.
Man,
Because most of people there is some talks about you apply for 100 positions to get one interview, something like that. What was
yes.
your statistics?
I would say to you that I applied to more than 20,
Okay.
more than 20 positions to get the first job.
And how many did not reply to you?
A lot, man. A
Yeah.
lot.
I had some
A
problems.
lot. Like
Yeah.
we sent to them the message with telling that we are a software developer. I work with these technologies, but they didn't see me. They didn't even see.
And for example, on talking about LinkedIn, you can do easy apply. You can click on link to apply on another site, right? And do you have a specific technique to reach out the responsible person for that job, for that for that job? For example, I did when I apply for some position on LinkedIn. Most of the time, I do the easy apply, but also I try to reach out someone responsible for that company. You do that kind of stuff, or you just click on the easy apply and let it go?
I used to do that
Yeah.
because there we are a lot of applications then. So you need to stand out in some way. And if you are searching the right people and encountering them, you will be able to stand out yourself to the crowd.
Okay. Do you really think this is make difference?
Yes, for sure. I used to do that in all the applications that I do on LinkedIn.
Great. Thanks, man.
I think the main takeout here is don't give up and keep applying, because when such things happen, it's not that you're not a good developer. It's maybe someone that better showed up.
Yes, exactly.
And they're evaluating several hundreds of candidates, and maybe someone slightly better showed up. And
Yes,
that doesn't
definitely.
that doesn't mean for a second that you're a bad developer, that you don't have the competence. And the main takeaway here is that don't give up and keep pushing, and don't take
that's true.
this ghosting as a sign
Yeah,
that
it's
you
not
are not
personal, right?
inadequate. It's not personal,
Yes.
Yeah.
not at all.
Even
You know,
because they receive a lot of applications, man. So to see
Right place
your
and right
message
time.
on LinkedIn, it's really difficult. Like I am participating in a process right now that I asked to the recruiter if he used to uh reply messages on LinkedIn, and he said to me, "Oh, not at all, because
Not at
I
all.
receive
No.
so many messages there, and I don't have time to answer all the questions."
it also means that you actually must be very attentive to your weaknesses. Try to spot them and work on that. But again, that when you're ghosted, that doesn't mean that you're a bad developer. That just maybe that just means that someone better showed up.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. And um, be aware that the process takes a long time. Like I'm participating in some process that it took 1 month, man, and I didn't receive the message, the answer from the client related to the interview step with them, because I already did the interview with the outsourcing, but the client didn't answer the giving the available slot times to talk with them.
Yeah. So guys, you
And
also you can think about this
we've
as
been
a
hearing about some I don't know, I don't remember who, but someone who was called to close the deal 1 year after. It's
year.
Yes, I
incredible.
remember. I remember.
Yeah,
I
a lot
saw.
of things happened. The company paused the evaluate the assessments, and then something changed. Then 1 year after, he was called. I don't remember his name, but he
Yeah,
was saying
it's
that,
Gabriel, right? Gabriel
yeah,
Rezende.
Gabriel, yeah,
He got a job as a data engineer, and
Yeah, I
he
heard
had
that.
already began a relationship with the company a year before, and then 1 year later, they actually hired him. So you can think about this, guys, as a sales process, as a it's a
it actually
sales
is.
routine. You have leads, and then you have a routine, and then you have numbers, basically. So I talked to this amount of people. I applied to 100, 20 replied. I got one interview. All right, now you know your conversion rate. So if you got one interview out of 100 replies, now you have to apply to 300 jobs so you can get 3 interviews. So you've once you know those rates, you have a routine and you start thinking more predictably, more mathematically in taking the personal out of it and taking the emotional out of it. You also develop a thick skin and resilience to accept no, which is going to be most of it, you know. So most of it is going to be no, and it's all right. It's the path to success.
Absolutely
How,
true.
yeah. You can also, I mean, there are easier ways to do it if you really build up your LinkedIn very well, make sure it's findable, You can have recruiters reaching out to you. We have a new client here, Marcelo. I don't think he joined today. He was getting like proposals like $8,000, 9,000 on his LinkedIn. And he couldn't say yes because of his English. Marcelo, I think you are skeptical about LinkedIn. Can you tell us why you don't believe in this platform?
Well,
Marcelo,
you're
did you hear me?
talking.
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
So what's the question? I'm not.
You are skeptical about LinkedIn as a platform to get jobs, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, I think I believe that's because of those when you get when you got ghosted, and because mainly because the easy apply, and I believe that's because there is a lot of applies, a lot of people
Yeah, for sure.
applying for the same position, and the recruiters are able to reply to everyone. So when a recruiter can look into your profile, the system automatically replies you that you are not selected for that position for an interview. And I think this is not good for the platform because you waste a lot of time and you lose confidence on the platform. And I believe that's the main reason.
Mhm.
That's why I really like to try the person responsible to post that position on LinkedIn or whatever you want. For example, I like to search for jobs on x.com because I can reach directly the person who was responsible for that position. And I in my case, I believe I have more good results, more replies on X than on LinkedIn.
What's the
What?
name of the site, Marcelo? Can you put it for
It's the
us?
Twitter.
Ah, Twitter.
Yeah,
Oh,
x.com.
really?
Yeah,
X.com.
you can go to the x.com on the left menu. You have a job menu,
Mm.
and you can search in the whole world apply. And we have a remoteok.com. There's another website that you can search only for remote jobs.
Okay, I will working with
Nice.
these websites and I will searching about
Yeah.
it.
Cool. How do you document this, guys? Like, do you have like a sheet or a document to keep track of the applications, or you just start applying and see what happens?
Oh, actually, I always send an email to them. So I have sent emails. So that's how I keep tracking on the jobs I have applied.
Cool.
This is the same
You
for
mean,
me.
well, yeah,
Or you keep track on the email itself.
yeah, yeah. I fulfill for some forms on other platforms, right?
Hmm.
But actually, I don't keep track on the platforms I join, but I
Hmm.
keep track on the jobs I apply. So I always try to reach someone responsible for that positions. And when I don't have the email, I don't keep it track at all because I believe if there is nobody responsible for that job, maybe that position it's not a real one, maybe.
Hmm.
And maybe some just they want to keep track of possible uh, developers that they may reach out in the future, and that's right.
I see. I have a question that someone asked me this week, a potential client, about the usual length of the contracts. Like, I know that, for example, Allison, he got a job in 1 month of Giga, but it was a temporary contract for months, and then he got another one within the 6 months that was longer. So, how long are these contracts? And like usually, what kind of what kind of work relationship do you have with those companies? Elvis.
All right. Um, to be honest, I've been seeing that the most contract is with 6 months long.
Mm-hmm.
And this one that I am right now is 6 months long, but there is possibility to renew the contract. And this
Mm-hmm.
is like 90% of certainty. So if I do a good job and the client likes the work that I will do, they will renew the contract.
Mm. Sounds like a good system. And what kind of other benefits do you have? Like purely the money, that's it, right? Nothing else.
Yes, purely the money.
I see. All right. So guys, have any more questions for Elvis?
I think just one. Have you on the negotiation? Have you talked about something related to periods of vacation? Is this on contract or not?
Yes, I talked with the recruiter about that, but my next vacation will be only on July. So it will be after the first
The 6
contract.
months.
Yes, after the 6 months. So, but the recruiter talked with me that I only need to talk with my manager about that 1 week before, and after that I can schedule.
Okay.
Cool. So not necessarily gonna have paid vacations yet. It's not
Yes,
not for
Since
sure.
it is not
since
included
he's a
in the contract.
contractor, probably he won't have a paid vacation.
Yeah,
I see.
probably not.
But I will
All
work
right.
my way up to on the next contract include that.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, now you like you have stepped into the international market, and now you are officially an international professional. And now it's just the
Congratulations.
beginning, right? As you said. That's very
Yes.
nice. So like getting more opportunities within the same company, other companies, leveraging your contacts and creating connections and networking. Have you actually started working already?
Yes. But I would say to you one thing. Now I'm working to the outsourcing,
Mm,
not to the company.
Yeah.
So I have the opportunity to deliver a good job and getting to the company on the future.
mm. Nice. So wait, you're working for this consultancy and they're already paying you $4,500?
Yes,
Oh, that's a good salary
Um,
for an indirect payment. So
for
your
sure.
goal is to get directly to the client.
Yes, because I'm pretty sure that the client is paying, I don't know, 7,000 or 80,000
8,000, yeah.
dollars per month. So it's a good range that I have to negotiate with them.
Mm-hmm. So this consultancy is getting a huge cut.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds like a good plan. So how do you plan on doing that? Like, how do you go around the middleman?
Uh, First of all, I will make sure that every um, deliverable that I will do, every feature that I deliver, I will take notes in
For your
order to
name, like
show to
Elvis
them.
did this.
Not at
Try
all,
me.
but I will take notes to expose to them in the future. When I will, when the contract finish, I will talk with them to renew the contract, exposing these things that I did in order to rise up my salary.
mhm.
Cool. So you're going to document the things that you executed. Sounds like a good
Exactly.
idea.
It looks like a interest salary for they to know you first, then probably on the next contract they're going to raise your salary a lot.
Yes, yes, I really agree with that.
Can maybe can in the future you could share the name of the company,
What company?
the consulting company,
All right, I will
if you want to.
share right now.
Maybe they have an iOS developer position for me.
Um,
But you can send
I'm not
that later. Don't
mistaken.
worry. Don't
It
worry.
is
Don't
that
take your time. Agile technology. They have a website.
Yes, they have.
Awkward silence. Why don't you talk, guys?
Yes.
Uh, so I'll share Elvis's link here, LinkedIn link. So this is a good idea, Marcelo, fostering
Mhm,
the connections that you're building here, right? So
mhm.
maybe the company does have positions for iOS. So
Yeah, yeah.
something you can do is exchange recommendations as well on LinkedIn. So you strengthen this connection.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm asking not just for me, you know, maybe since they are a consulting company, probably they work not only with Java, but with a lot of different technology, right?
Yeah,
For sure, for sure.
So you guys can request a connection to Elvis on LinkedIn.
I already did.
Cool. Nice. So if you have any more questions, you can send it directly to him. I believe we can wrap up for the day.
Sure.
Let's take our picture. 1, 2,
Come on, you go.
3. Perfect. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks for being here. Congratulations again, Elvis. And enjoy the rest of your Friday.
See you guys.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
See you
Bye.
guys. Take
Bye.
care.
Thank you, guys.